Hello, beautiful souls. I was hoping to have a video out this week on how to be your own patient's advocate. However, I did not realize we were getting a cold snap when I said that and have been hit by quite a flare this week that has kept me in a dark room and wearing shades. Hey, baby girl. I'm popping on now because I told myself I would put something out every week, even if it's just for a couple of minutes. So I will do part one, just going from memory because I can't read my computer at this moment. I can't sit for a long period of time. I'm having to sit a certain way so that the spike doesn't happen as bad in my head. I have a hard time with sitting. I don't know if I said that before. So being your own patient's advocate, one thing I've learned is question your doctors. Yes, they know things, but they don't know everything. And that's what I alluded to, I think, in a previous post that I put out. It was a short where I was doing a teaser for this week. And I was a specialist in corporate America as a technologist for almost 30 years, working as a systems administrator, project manager, business analyst. I knew the system. I knew the systems. This was across 4 different organizations in corporate America, some being banks, some in real estate, one in real estate. So it's one in software development. It is incredible to be in a field where you do know a lot of things. However, even though I was educated, I got my MBA in technology management, that was my specialization, and I worked on a specific system for 20 years, I still didn't know everything. It grew so much. Same thing happens with the medical field. There are constantly realizations of how we can be treated as patients, how they can act as doctors. They don't know everything. I know I don't know what I don't know. That's the biggest part of it, knowing you don't know what you don't know. I actually had to fire a doctor last year because she made 2 really bad assumptions on my first visit and wanted to diagnose without seeing data. So if a doctor does that and you go in for your first visit and they're trying to diagnose you before they've seen blood work, before they've seen any x-rays or MRIs or CTs or sonograms or whatever it is that you needed to have done when you went into them, that's a red flag for you. That is part of being your own patient's advocate. Knowing it's okay to say, no, you may not be the right fit for me as a doctor. I will not mention that doctor's name. I did mention in her portal that I fired her, and those were the reasons why, and that maybe she may want to realize that she doesn't know what she doesn't know, and she shouldn't be applying her lens onto a patient, especially when she's wrong, because I did finally go and get an accurate diagnosis of what was going on. I got to see what was going on in my body. I went through physical therapy. It helped me understand how to manage this continued issue that I'm having. It was not a sprained ankle, like she was saying. It ended up being something a lot more serious and a lot more painful. So please know that is one of the first things I will tell you. You can say no to a doctor. Repeat after me. I am empowered to say no to a doctor. Ow. Okay, I shouldn't have done that so loud. Oh. Ah. So that is one of the big things. Another thing is, if you do go into a doctor and it's your first visit with them, they know nothing about you. Even though you put everything that you put in the EMR, that doesn't mean the doctor has necessarily seen it. I've been very lucky over the past 6 months where I did put something in the EMR. That's the electronic medical system. I don't remember what the R stands for, sorry. Records, electronic medical records, the system that manages all of that. I did not work in medical field, so that's why I don't know those terms. I almost went into EMR management, systems admin. That would have been really cool. I kind of wish I had. I still could. Who knows? Maybe this path will take me down that way if I can get this all calmed down and allow me to sit better. So the EMRs, I've had 2 doctors in the past 6 months that I am so impressed by, where I put the information in the system and they actually read it. They read it. They knew, they understood, they asked questions. It was really nice. One was an allergist and the other was my new primary care physician, who I am so grateful I have. She is amazing. She studied in Cuba. She's an American citizen. She's here helping us. I'm just so grateful she's my primary care physician. I'm so grateful to have her. Definitely when you're going in to see a new doctor though, and this is something I did with the third, I got a new neurologist. It's actually a neurophysiologist, which is kind of interesting. I never had one before. I brought in a document and it wasn't anything fancy. It was just, here's my current symptoms, everything that's going on with me. Here are the medications we've tried that I've either not found successful or, hold on, I have to readjust. I've not found successful. Oh, that's better. Or I had some serious side effects or reactions to and had to stop. I've actually had some anaphylactic responses to some of the medications they've tried to see if they would help. It's been a roller coaster of fun. So please make sure you're tracking those. Not all EMRs talk to every EMR. Not all doctors can access every EMR. So if you have a document that has your own information, and that was what I wanted to provide you guys. There's actually a website I was looking at 2 weeks ago when I started researching this, and it talks all about being your own patient's advocate. And it's something I wish I had had. It even goes over terms, because I would hear them say nociceptive pain, and I'm like, what is that? Use real words. We don't know this stuff. We're not doctors. It's the pain with muscles or something where you hurt yourself. I'm dealing with nerve pain and some nociceptive pain, which I didn't realize that was a thing. I didn't know until I started reading through. I was like, oh, that's what they're talking about. But it actually defines some of those terms for you. I think they even have like an example form that you can use to bring in for your information from your identifying who all your doctors are, your symptoms, like I said, any diagnoses that you've already had, a list of MRI, CTs, any diagnostics that you know you've had that you need this doctor to see. Make sure you've gathered them. Bring in the CDs, the reports, the names of the doctors that can send those over, or you can get them and supply them. This will help your doctor have a better understanding of what's going on with your system and why you're coming to them. It gives them a framework from which to work from. I worked as a business analyst for a number of years, and this is what we would do with systems. We would identify what is the current state, where has it gone wrong, where are we trying to get to, who's been involved, what were the successes, what were the failures, what are those gaps, things like that. So when I think of how my system is, it kind of made me think of it in that manner. Like I'm doing a requirements doc on my body, but really it's a physical health record, I think is what they call it. Again, I didn't get to research as much as I wanted to. I don't know when the flares are going to happen. So you're going to see that on this channel, where one day I may have 30 minutes of awesomeness, and then the next week I might be like I am now. But I want to get something out there, and I've been trying to make sure I get videos out by Saturday. So I'm recording this right now on Friday. I just took a shower, nice hot shower. It always seems to like reduce the pain by at least one number in my head. So that's why I'm on right now, because I don't want to wait to the last second and record and then not record and not get anything out. So what else was I saying? The form. The doctor actually said to me, the new neuro, he said, I wish more patients had stuff like this. And that's what made me think about this, being your own patient's advocate. Like, I don't know what I don't know about being a patient's advocate, and that's why I'm going to have part 2 or maybe even part 3. We can make this a whole series if we need to. There's so much out there. I have friends that have been going through chemo, and they have information on what might be the best course for being your patient advocate there. So maybe I can get information from them to help educate the masses of, like, hey, this is some of the stuff. These are some of the resources. I'm not a SME on it. I'm going to say, just like this other creator, he's like, you're learning alongside me. So on this one, you're learning aside me. I've experienced this now for 2.5 years of constant doctors, specialists, and tests. I'm going for my 4th or 5th MRI of my brain next month. You just keep learning is what I'm trying to get at. And that's where I'm at with this channel. I want to be able to share what I've been through so that maybe when you go through it, you have a better understanding of how to handle and manage that. So definitely, even if it's a scribbled piece of paper, just try to make it legible so that they're able to tell what it is. Oh, also include family history. Make sure that you include any family history of, in my case, I had a family member who died of a brain bleed, so I had to make sure that was included. Heart problems. I don't have any heart problems, but I have family members who have heart problems. Diabetes, stroke, things like that. Those are also things a lot of the doctor's offices may have on their intake forms, but not all of them do. So do try to include anything that could be pertinent. And then there are some things that you may not even think about. If you've had any weird injuries with your spine or your lower back or your rib cage, you know what I mean? Just include everything, because there might be something that could be exacerbating your physical condition that you don't realize. This is about empowerment. I am not in victim mode here. I am in control of what I am in control of, and I know there's a whole bunch out there that I'm not, but I do want to understand what is going on with my body. What can I do to help it? Where can I optimize my time? I know that mornings are great for me. So do make sure that you pay attention to those key states, because they will help you, especially when you're talking to your doctor. Let them know, hey, I'm usually optimal in the morning, but there are some mornings where I'm not. Like this week, if I were going to the doctor, I would let them know, hey, which I already let him know this, that I have this, that happens. Hey, on these days where we're having cold fronts or major rainstorms and the barometric pressure goes really high or really low or is changing really erratic, it causes this to happen in my body. And then I'm down for so many days or whatever it is, which I have been this week. It helps them understand a pattern, and that pattern might help them understand that you have a potentiality of this, or this, and it'll help them with knowing what to test. I'm really grateful that I brought that document in and that he and I had that dialogue. Most doctors I've found will try to get you in and out pretty fast. So do find out when you call to make your appointment, how long is your initial session? Is it 15 minutes? That's not going to be enough time. Is it a half an hour? That's better. Definitely better. I think that's about what mine was, half hour, maybe 45 minutes. I was in there for a long time and we went through a lot of information. If you have a hard time sitting or standing or thinking or feel foggy at certain times of the day, do include that. If you're having any questions that you might have for the doctor, definitely include them on your document so that you don't forget. A lot of people will have what's called white coat syndrome, and I'm going to describe how I understand it, but please Google it for yourself. I know for me, I completely shut down a lot when I talk to doctors, so I will forget things. I've literally forgotten, like even things that were in my phone, but if I have the paper printed out in front of me, I can't forget it. It's right there. So have it all right there for your doctor. Oh, and the reason I'm holding my hand on my face is because it's like a little heating pad, but then it gets really, really hot. But heat or ice seem to really do help. Cool breezes are not good. Light grazes are not good. I could scratch my head on this side and it shoots a pain down into the side of my face. It's crazy stuff. But those are the things that the doctors need to know because it will help them identify, like, okay, these are the symptoms this person is experiencing, and this is could be one of these, different diagnoses. Now, I already have a diagnosis. However, they are looking at other things based on some other symptoms I've mentioned. And had I not mentioned those symptoms, we would have just kept going with the diagnosis I had received in 2023. So, and it's not that I'm looking for diagnoses. Trust me, I'm looking for the root cause. I'm trying to find out, why is this happening and why is it getting worse? So, those are the things that you want to ask your doctor. And I'm sorry I don't have all this bulleted out, but I hope next week maybe I can do the second one and it will have some more information for you. Maybe I can, feel okay enough in the next week to, take 15 minutes to document it all. Yeah, it really depends on how my eyeballs are working. So, or I'll just send you a link of where I saw a form and you guys could use that form as your template and then just add to it, customize it where you need to for yourself, because I don't know your situation. I don't know it as well as you do. Who else is going to know about you better than you? Right? Friends and family may also have additional information. Oh, that's a really good one to add. My husband, he sees what's going on. He sees the patterns. He knows when I'm having a really hard time. I don't even have to say anything. He can just see it on my face. But there may be things that he sees or my friends see that I don't notice. Ask them, interview your friends and your family, asking them, what is it that I might need to include on this for my new doctor so that they have a full understanding of what's going on. And I'm sure they'll be able to fill in a few blank spots that you didn't even think about. I think that's about it. I don't have anything else coming to mind, and my face is really hurting. So, in my head, I'm gonna go ahead and log, but I hope this was helpful for someone. I'm really grateful for all the views I've had to date, and I hope there's something in there that someone's gotten as a nugget. And I'm just sending so much love out to everybody. Many blessings, and know you're not alone and you've got this. Much love. Bye.